Happy Wednesday morning, everybody. Um, why did Donald Trump enact the Alien Enemies Act of 1798? To get around due process. What does that mean? Why does he want to get around due process? He's saying all of these things about all of these people that are being detained and deported. According to the Trump administration, every single person that they deported this past weekend and flew to El Salvador to be held in prisons in El Salvador were violent Venezuelan street gang members. According to the Trump administration, every one of the people on the 3 planes, I think it was, fit that description, period. Well, what don't you have to do if you've suspended the due process rights of those people? You don't have to go into court and prove individually that each of those men who was deported this past weekend to El Salvador was actually a member of a violent Venezuelan street gang. If you suspend their due process rights, you don't have to present any evidence of that in a courtroom. You don't have to convince a federal judge that what you're saying is true. And let's go back a week and a half when ICE agents abducted Mahmoud Khalil, a former student at Columbia University who is a green card holder, whose wife, who's 8 months pregnant, is married to, his wife is a U.S. citizen. They abducted him and disappeared him into a jail cell in Louisiana, where he still sits a week and a half later, and they didn't charge him with a crime. He's a green card holder. He's here legally. In order to take away someone's green card, they need to be charged with a crime. And Mahmoud Khalil was not charged with a crime, which, if you think about it, is pretty amazing. Because Donald Trump is the president. His hand-picked Attorney General Pam Bondi runs the Department of Justice. His hand-picked bug-eyed possum of a pit bull, Kash Patel, is running the FBI. And with all of those resources, Mahmoud Khalil was not charged with one single crime. He is not charged with any crime. With all of these people who fabricate all the shit that they fabricate, they did not charge him with a single crime. And in order to do that to undocumented immigrants who are not in the United States legally on a mass scale, Donald Trump enacted the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 for the 4th time in the history of this country. The first 3 times were wartime, War of 1812, World War I, World War II, when it was enacted, invoked to justify sending tens of thousands of Japanese Americans to internment camps on United States soil. And now it turns out, according to the government, because once you get into court, you cannot lie to a federal judge or you can be charged with a crime. According to the government, it turns out that the majority of the men who were deported last weekend, who Trump was saying are members of a violent Venezuelan street gang, have never been charged with a crime, felony or misdemeanor, anywhere. Not in the United States, not in Venezuela. Never been charged with a crime. And they are sitting in a prison in El Salvador. And if you think that this administration is going to stop with taking away the due process rights of brown people who are from other countries, you are sadly mistaken. We are less than 2 months in. Tomorrow is March 20th. That's 2 months since Donald Trump was inaugurated. If you think he's not going to come after the due process rights of born and bred U.S. citizens who say things that he disagrees with, you are sadly mistaken.